As we make our way through this year, we find ourselves in the season of Lent with Easter on the horizon. I think it's important that maybe on this afternoon, as an opening, if we were to have an opening invocation to think about that morning when human history changed. That morning when love left the grave. That morning when grace just would not behave. That morning when eternity called you by name, when nothing would ever be the same and all things became new. That morning when God thought of you. That morning when a stone was removed. That morning when a corpse decided to do what it ain't supposed to. That morning when prophecy came true. That morning when two mourning women came to the tomb to care for the dead, looking for the one who had numbered hairs on their heads, but they didn't find one embalmed in slumber. Instead, what they found that morning was a wondrous message to be spread. That morning when death became a defanged snake that could no longer lay stake or claim to you or your name. That morning, God saw your hurt, your pain, our sin, our shame, and he took his creation, his wondrous work of art, and he placed it in a frame, and he said, "This is why I came, so that all things could forever be changed." The rising sun, the burial undone, the victory won. That morning, like this morning, he is saying, come to me, all weary and heavy burdened, rural, suburb, urban, hypocrite, poor, virgin, unsure, on the fence, certain. Why do you look for the living amongst the dead? Why do you look for the living amongst the dead? Why are we looking for the living amongst the dead? Our God is alive. Amen. Hello. My name is Adán Bean, and I have the wonderful opportunity to open this up with you all. I am a spoken word artist and an MC and a host. I get based here in Atlanta, Georgia, so not too big of a commute for me. But I am fortunate enough to get to travel this country and the world sometimes, even to get to do my art for people, which is spoken word. I'm so grateful for this time that I get to be in front of each of you because of the wonderful work that you all are doing. I am so grateful because, of course, the saying is to not be so heavenly minded that you're not doing earthly good, and I'm just grateful that the good that you all are doing. See, I think that it's important to connect the dots for people, right? On earth as it is in heaven. To grab a little piece of heaven and have it scrape the pavement. Essentially, the work that you're doing, it's grounded, it's having real impact. So when I think about what it all begins with, what it all starts with, it starts with the ground. It starts with where our feet are placed. It starts what's beneath us. The ground. The ground. If one listens, you can hear it tell our story. The ground. A briar in the cotton patch, prickly and thorny. The ground stretches to the small and large countries and territories. The ground gives us an opportunity to give him glory. The ground. It is in the soil from whence we came. The ground, it's where we toil to make our name. The ground. From the foundation, we then lay the frame. We hand up, we do not hand out. We believe it all can change with the ground. We empower people through hammers and nails. The ground, from poverty with property, our people can prevail. The ground, our down payment is sweat equity at scale. These aren't mere houses, they are homes where a family can excel. With the ground, men and women meet dire circumstances with defiance. The ground, a key ingredient in the recipe of self-reliance. The ground, where a child with a stable living environment is our greatest triumph because our partners are family. These people are not simple clients. It is the ground. So much more than just something underneath our feet. It is the ground where hope springs from disaster recovery and relief. The ground, let us be renowned for affirming dignity and peace. We work the ground till we return to the ground, and the circle of life is then complete. From the floorboards to the ceilings and roof. When we die, let us be buried in our work boots. The walls that we build cannot conceal the simple truth that decent shelter's a human right. And this inclusive movement is the proof, whether briar patch or build site. If there is a will and with skilled might, we believe those dreams that we dream can be achieved in real life. Next door or internationally, we are for sure one family, koinonia, common ground, the habitat for humanity, the ground.